Hey YouTube, Untamed here. So today marks 2 months of ownership of the Tundra TRD Pro here in Lunar Rock. So you guys know that 2 months is normally nothing to celebrate whatsoever, but for the folks who've been sticking around my channel for a while, you know that is a good thing for me, and that is progress. So let me open up by saying I've absolutely loved it so far. You guys know that. I mean, I think I talk plenty about the Tundra and geek out enough about it, really. But I mean, really for the new folks stopping by the channel, this is mainly directed to you guys. I mean, for the people looking right now for 2021 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro, I hope maybe some of you find this a little bit useful. I'm not going to dive into the details of the Tundra here, as I've done that plenty in my other videos, but really just kind of highlight, you know, the main things that I've really grown to appreciate about the Tundra at large. I mean, from my previous 2020. Okay, uh-oh. What you doing, Peanut? What you doing? Okay, she found the hose. Okay, well, there's your Peanut feature. Okay. All right, well, I mean, yeah, this is back to where we were. So this is really just going to highlight the things that I've really grown to love about the Tundra here. And there's a lot. There's a ton that I love. And really, honestly, just a couple things that are even worth considering gripes. And I don't even know if I would comfortably say that they're gripes, because I don't know. I'm a little obsessed with it because I think it's perfect. So for anybody who's really pursuing a truck, if you're not one that is always towing, I would definitely push you and encourage you to try to give the Tundra a look at least. Okay, so for starters, let me open up with, is it stock? No, there's only a few things that I've added to it, and really I think altogether it cost right around $3,000 for everything that I've added on this truck. So not that big of a pill to swallow, really, to make it look amazing, in my opinion. So kind of go down the list here. Obviously the Nitto Ridge grapplers, which I put on. These are slightly smaller than the 295s that I put on my Army Green one, for anyone kind of coming to this video from that other truck that I had. So these are 285s rather than 295s, so really just 10 millimeters skinnier, if you will. So really not that big of a change, but really that 10 millimeters is enough to make it so you do not rub whatsoever on the inside of the truck. Right, so even though the 295s didn't... Are you spraying me? Okay, alright. Sorry you gotta see this, guys. Alright, so barely skinnier, and just enough to prevent any kind of rubbing whatsoever. So can you get by with the 295s? Yes, but over time you might be doing a little bit more damage than you would want to. So just something to consider, of course. What else? So the tires themselves, I ended up buying those used, and normally I'm not the type to ever buy tires used. I'm not the type whatsoever, especially if you're going to spend $50,000+ on a truck. I spent $54,500. Let me make that clear for this. If you're going to spend, no, do not spray. Do not spray, Everly. No more. No more. We're done with that.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, you're not, are you done?
Yeah.
Are you done?
No.
Please? Okay. No more. No more, Everly. Okay, all right, we're gonna redo this video. No more, we're gonna put it away. No more. Here, go twist it. Can you twist that? Can you twist that for me? Okay. Well, we're gonna go ahead and take care of that. Sorry, this was not planned for the video, but we're gonna do it. We're keeping it going. Say hey, YouTube. Say hi. Okay, she's being a poofter. All right, next time, YouTube. Okay, so this is actually my dad's truck here, Silverado 1500, which he did a few little goodies to. As you see, little fender flares. I think he has the Toyota Open Countries on it. Watch this. She doesn't know how to turn it off. Uh-oh, what happened? No, no. Nope. Okay. No more, Everly. I think we're done. I think we're done, Peanut.
Please, I'm sorry for almost
I think you did it on purpose.
Sorry.
Okay, we'll do it after the video, okay? Just a few more minutes, all right? A few more minutes? Is that okay? Huh? Oh. Okay. All right, I'll be done in a few minutes. All right, where were we? Okay, yeah, so it's my dad's truck here. He did a few goodies, fender flares, Toyota open country tires on it. Obviously a little side running boards there. But aside from that, pretty much stock. Oh yeah, the wheels, he put those on too. Went through Les Schwab on those. Anyways, back to the Tundra here. So I did the tires. I spent $950 on them. I bought them used and ended up becoming one of my buddies. Super White TRD Pro. You guys saw his truck. He has the white one that I featured a few days ago. The bed cover, I think this is among the most important things that you can put on your Tundra. I don't know why I've really grown to just freaking love these things. And you know what? I'm gonna show you. This is gonna be like the ultimate test. It definitely does let in water, but not as much. Watch, there's gonna be a ton in here. It's not bad, it's just dirty. So you can see, obviously some water there on the side. Yeah, so not too bad. And it's just obviously dirt from a little bit of use. So, not too bad. One thing, well, since we're back here, one thing that I absolutely love about this one compared to my 2020 is it did have the factory tailgate lock installed on it. So when I hit lock on the actual key, here, I'll show you real quick, you can hear it. So you take out your cool AJT design key fob, right? Then when you hit lock, you can hear it. I don't know if you could actually hear that too well. I'll unlock it real quick. One more time. So, pretty cool. So I'm definitely grateful it has that, because whenever we have anything in the back, I like being able to make sure that it's going to be secured if we're going to walk into a store or park in an open parking lot, whatever. And I like being able to do that without waddling back to the back of the truck and locking the rear tailgate there. So that was $1,100. So already we're $950, $1,100 with the bed cover. This is a backflip MX4. Again, for the folks who frequent my channel, you know exactly what it is, so I'm not going to belabor the point. It is finished in a bed liner finish, a Line-X finish. I'm sorry, the rain's kind of making it look a little weird, but definitely durable. I had it finished at a Line-X distributor out here in Washington, and I bought it from them as well. So it was $1,100 total. I think you can actually get the backflip cover itself for about $900, I think, give or take. So depending on which vendor you go through, of course. All right, what else? So we also put on the glorious Go Rhino running boards. These are the RB20s. These were $600 about, right? So $600 for that. They do get wider toward the front, for those of you who don't know that. So they kind of expand outward toward the front. And because of that, when you look at it at an angle, it almost looks like the front is bent down a little bit. So I mean, I had a couple of you kind of reach out to me like, wait a minute, does it bend down over time as you use it? See how the kind of front kind of looks almost lower, if you will, on the running board there, but that's just because it is wider, so it just extends a little bit further out. So kind of a little bit of an illusion there, if you will. So $600 for that, $300 for the tint. We did 20% sides, 20% on the sides, and then you got the same right here, but because it already has the factory tinted glass on the rear windows here, it's a little bit darker on the back. Then here is 5%, so extremely dark. But when you have kiddos, if you're like me at least, when you have kiddos, you really grow to appreciate window tint, because it kind of helps them fall asleep in the car for extended trips, and it helps them remain asleep without the sun blasting them in the face. So as a dad, I've really grown to appreciate it. What else? Not to mention, like, nighttime visibility, it is hindered for sure. I mean, I think I'd be lying if I said otherwise. But I think I appreciate more having you know, when I have vehicles behind me, I don't see their headlights too bright. I mean, it doesn't interfere with my vision looking forward, so it doesn't like blast my rear view mirror with their headlights, if that makes sense. So I think I've grown to appreciate that even more than I think it outweighs the hindered visibility, in my opinion. And aside from that, I think the only other thing that I put money toward was the little AJT design bits. I just showed you the key fob, of course, like 30 bucks, and then yeah, don't mind the mess. Such a common sight nowadays, huh? You open up your car. All right, so yeah, so on the inside we ended up putting the AJT design. Forgive me, it's a little dirty, guys. This right here, this is normally chrome, a plastic chrome, which looks like garbage, and then this right here, I think normally matches this color here, this product. So we blacked that out. We blacked out the chrome gate right there, and then I put the little the black Toyota badge or overlay on top of the Toyota logo there on the steering wheel, which I know some of you are iffy about that one. Yeah, I'm trying to. Oh yeah, then these. Almost forgot about these guys. So just the vent covers right here. This is normally just chrome. It's just a 3M adhesive where you tack it on. I think it makes it all kind of flow a lot better. Well, since we're in here, I'll talk about one of my, I would argue maybe my favorite piece about it, and I don't know if it really should be my favorite, but it is, and that is how much space we have back there. You guys have heard me talk about that if you watch my channel, but the fact that you have about a 1/4 acre back there for your kiddos is awesome. I freaking love it. Just yesterday, our fat asses went to Dairy Queen, and we did. And my wife, she jumped back here and sat in the middle as she was, we're eating ice cream with the kiddos back there, and she had a ton of space in the middle there. So we absolutely love it. Let me show you better. Again, forgive the mess. Hashtag dad life. So this, like, she has so much space, and you just saw up front, this is in a very good seating position. It's not, you're not crammed up against the dash at all in this position right here. My wife has a ton of room, and so does my daughter. She's starting to get taller, but even now she can't actually reach the seat, which is really cool. Then of course my son over there, a ton of space in between the seat even still with that, which is not the case at all with the 4Runner, unfortunately, but we're making do with it for sure. We're going to be rotating him around here shortly too, so it'll probably even have even more space back here in a second. All right, so space, I would argue, is among my favorite things about it. And then the second piece I love most about it is probably the ease of driving. And again, I've kind of belabored this point too in the past, but the fact that it has such an amazing turning radius is awesome. I freaking love that. Makes for easy parking. I don't know, that's the biggest surprise when you get behind the wheel, just how easy it turns on a dime. So between that and just the overall feel of how smooth it is, even at highway speeds, when you're bebopping around town, it's just so smooth. The Fox suspension in here, the TRD Tune Fox suspension, is glorious. It handles everything with ease. I absolutely love it. Is it as good as a Raptor? No, when it comes to that, but still, for the price point, I definitely think it's perfect. And yes, I am fanboying, I get it, but I'm just giving you my update, and 2 months in, I absolutely love it. So you're kind of getting all this. And the next thing, of course, is the paint. This is Lunar Rock. I love how unique it looks. I think it looks best on days like this. A little bit of overcast. So, when it's a little bit brighter, I think it kind of gets that a little bit more of a greenish hue to it, but I still think it looks better than Army Green. Not by a lot. I love Army Green. Actually, just yesterday I was reminiscing about the old Army Green 4Runner and Tundra that we had, so we're looking at pictures of it. But I do think this is better, and I do think it'll age better, in my opinion. Not to mention, I love the fact that this is the last of the V8. Well, technically speaking for now, of course that could change, but for now I think the most overwhelming rumor is Toyota is getting rid of the V8 entirely, the 5.7 liter V8 in this, and they're moving to that twin turbo V6 option, that variant, which is going to be a much better performer in every aspect, of course, but I still love the fact that we're getting the last of the V8, even if the performance numbers are not going to be as good. I'm totally okay with that, because this is more than sufficient, in my opinion. And this is coming from someone who's owned 2 Raptors, okay? I think this, the 381 horsepower and the 401 foot-pounds of torque that this offers, this is plenty. This is plenty for, you know, 99 out of 100 people, I would argue. Unless you're like I said, you're constantly towing for a living, you might want to start leaning toward the diesel, of course. All right, what else? The sound, I won't beat that up too much. We talked about that already way too much, I think, but in other videos. But the TRD catback exhaust on this Tundra is so awesome. So here's obviously one side of it. Same thing on the other side. Forgive me, the truck is a little dirty, but normally they're a shiny black. But this truck just sounds so freaking good with this 5.7 liter V8. So love the sound while you're bebopping around town. And I hate making this comparison, but much of my younger years, I was all about Subaru WRXs and STIs, right? So I was all about that. So the fact that, you know, this has that nice little rumble to it is admittedly kind of reminiscent of the Boxer engine that you find in those Subarus. So it is kind of a nice reminiscent sound, if you will. And maybe it shouldn't be, but it is for me. What else? So simplicity, we talked about that. I love that this is super unique, especially with the Lunar Rock color, but yet at the same time, it's still simple. It's still Toyota, and it's still just, you know, just a Tundra, which I love that. And you guys remember me meowing a little bit about the Raptor in regards to it just being a little bit too flashy. It felt too flashy for me. It's just, you know, even though it looks cool, I love it. I freaking love the Raptor. It's just too flashy for me, and for my line of work, I don't know, I never felt good driving it around. I always kind of felt like, oh great, I'm already kind of being chalked up to a D-bag before I even step out of my vehicle, and I don't like that. Nobody wants to be judged before you even have an opportunity to speak, right? So, and I couldn't help but feel that way often when I drove the Raptor, and I don't feel that way at all with the Tundra, and that's why I think it's worth mentioning in my 2-month update review here. Aside from that, I think the most obvious thing is, you know, the peace of mind. You know, back in Wyoming, we had some pretty cold days where it was just completely frozen out. And starting up even though the Raptor never gave me a single issue, but there were days where I wondered, where it was just so cold over there, it was super icy, and you started up, it kind of had a different sound to it. I never had 110% confidence in it, even though I didn't really have a legitimate reason not to, if I'm being honest. But this, I don't know, I would never even think twice about it being able to not start up. It will always start up for me. Watch, now that I say that out loud, I'm going to have a problem with it next week. But I definitely love the peace of mind that comes with the Tundra here. Yeah, but aside from that, I won't beat up the whole reliability piece. It's definitely a tried and true platform, which is great. Aside from that, though, you know, I don't know why, but for some reason it seems like I'm even getting a worse fuel economy with this one for some reason, and it's barely noticeable, but I think maybe 1 to 2 miles per gallon less than I was getting on my Army Green. So I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what the difference is, honestly. I think it might have something to do with the fact that, you know, I do a lot more city driving just based off where I live. And I'm sure that's it, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's just something I did take note of the other day, where right now I'm getting anywhere from 10 to 12 miles per gallon. And I was getting legitimately 13 to 14 all the time back in Wyoming, but there was a lot more open road in Wyoming, as you'd imagine, compared to Washington here. So yeah, I am eager to see what that 2022 will bring. I'm definitely eager to see it. I'm sure it's going to be stunning in every way, a lot more aggressive looking, a lot more wide fender flared in the rear, I'm sure. Yeah, definitely eager to see it, and eager to hear of what the true power plant will be, and if there will be any other options available for it. So definitely eager to see that. Tell me what you guys are thinking. I mean, for those of you who are kind of leaning toward buying one of these right now, are you purposely waiting for the 2022 to come out, or are you more eager to try to get the last of the V8 wave? I'd be curious to know what you guys think and what your thoughts are on it. So with that, I will officially wrap up this video. I made this one already way too long, as I seldom do, or often do rather, I should say. But I do appreciate you watching, and let me know if you have any questions, as always. Until next time, guys.